Hi there guys, and welcome back to another Retrobrown video, the second of the month for Retrobrown. And as you can see wiggling in front of you, we have got Heracross for today's video on the Johto runs. So let's get started. I think this is actually going to be a really good run because I love Heracross, it's such a cool Pokemon design. So, it's got its base stat total of 500, which is massive, absolutely massive. And that's spread very nicely across the likes of its HP, its special defense, but most importantly, its attack. Its attack is phenomenal at 125, which I think we really need. We really need every now and then these really good Pokemon to do these runs with. So let's get started on this run, and we'll have a quick chat about its moveset. So in terms of its moveset, we've got a pretty mediocre start really. We start off with Tackle, we start off with Leer, but at level 6 we get Horn Attack, which considering we've got massive attack stat, is perfect. It's exactly what we want. And even in the later game, we're going to get the absolutely colossal move of Mega Horn. 120 base power move, 85% accuracy. Accuracy not that great, but it's a pure bug type move. So that means that we're going to get the stab bonus on that move. We're going to get... it's going to be a fantastic move to have in our arsenal. We might not even have it by the time we get to the Elite Four, but we'll soon see. We'll soon see. Let's see how we do in this very first battle. We are, of course, switching Heracross out with Chikorita. That means that our rival is then going to have Cyndaquil. And as you can see right there, we pretty much took him out in one hit, which is insane. Again, we're going with Jubbles for the rival. He's one of our channel's most prominent subscribers. Let's see how we do in the Flying Gym, which of course we've got a quad times weakness to. And that quad times weakness, you can see right there, one peck nearly took us out. But Horn Attack is doing so much damage. Let's see how we do against Falkner, even at this low level. Level 9, we're doing half damage to Pidgey. And we've got a lot of HP to go into the Pidgeotto, which does have Gust. It's doing a lot of damage, so yeah, we might need one more level just to be able to make this a little bit more viable. So we're going to train up in Sprout Tower, of course. In Sprout Tower, they've mostly got the likes of Bellsprouts, which is pretty much easy experience for us. We don't even need to go against all the trainers. We can go against one or two, Horn Attack our way through, and then try again against Falkner. Is Pokemon, considering they're only what, level 7, level 9, we can now at level 12 take out the Pidgey. Pidgeotto, of course, is going to be now a one hit with a critical hit. And at level 12, we also do pick up the move Endure. So Endure is an interesting move. If you get hit and you've used Endure, then you can survive on 1 HP. Which could be quite interesting on some of these Pokemon, but I don't think it's going to be one that we take through the entire run. In Bugsy's gym, his Pokemon are pretty weak. We've got very good resistances to bug type moves. Even the Cypher is not going to be a problem for us because we do have quite decent bulk behind us. We've got 75 base defense, and even with him hitting Fury Cutter 3 times with poisoned, we still managed to take the win first time. So this is looking really good as it is. Now here's a bit of a problem. We actually right now don't have a move which can hit his Ghastly, apart from what we've picked up in Bugsy's gym, which is Fury Cutter. As you can see, Fury Cutter does not do much damage against a Ghost Poison type. It's the only move we can use apart from Struggle, which will take him out, but Fury Cutter is an accumulative move. Every time you use it up until about 5 times, it doubles its damage, just like Rollout does, and with that, it makes the couple hours so much easier. So that's a first time victory against the Azalea rival as well. And considering we're flying, we're just going to go straight into that Whitney battle. We're going to go for Headbutt. Headbutt you pick up in Alex Forest, and it's got the chance to flinch. So for a physical attacker in this early game, it is a fantastic move to be using. It's going to take a 4-hit Headbutt to take out the Miltank. But even at this stage, we were 2 levels below it, we still take the win first time. Whitney has a little cry, and then gives us our playing badge. I don't like this aspect of Gen 2 where you've got 2 gym leaders which have a little bit of a bitch fit and won't give you the badge until after you've done something else. It's really annoying, really. Moving on to Morty. I actually went into this battle just using Struggle because Fury Cutter I'd have to set up way too much, and that gives Morty way too many chances to then get a curse in, which means that we will lose HP every single turn. Unfortunately on this attempt though, luck was not going our way, and we get put to sleep and Nightshade takes us out. So that's the first loss of the run so far, and it came by Morty. Not the worst thing in the world, really not the worst thing in the world. When the RNG works in your favour a little bit better though, Struggle and Hypnosis, Struggle connects, Hypnosis doesn't, we can get through most of his Pokemon really, really quickly. Of course, Struggle is not doing very much against the Gengar, but he doesn't put us to sleep and we can take him down. We've got half HP now to take out this final Haunter. And as we know from the first Haunter, it takes 2 hits to take it down. We've got more than enough HP to get through that battle. We can also learn now Counter, which will be an interesting move to use. It's a good fighting type move. And if your speed is nowhere near as good, yeah, it works in your favour. We're going to go over to Olivine and fish for our Surfer, and we actually come across the Corsola, which has got the worst encounter rate in Olivine City, but we managed to find it first time, and that means that we've now got Corsola as our Surfer. And I've included this footage in just because I've never fished up a Corsola before without like dedicated training and back when I was a kid playing these games. But yeah, like to find that first time, I found that really funny. And that leads us on to Chuck. So Chuck is a fighting type trainer. We've actually got the resistances here, and even in this mid game, Horn Attack is still one of our best moves to be using. There's no point using Fury Attack. We won't get any other really powerful moves until later where we can get likes of Earthquake and Mega Horn, even Reversal. Reversal is a good move. Against the Poliwrath, we do get hit by Dynamic Punch, you know, a punch that's got 50% accuracy. And it's our downfall. We lose because of that bloody Dynamic Punch. That's happened in so many runs now. Even though it's got 50% accuracy, it seems like it hits every single time, which is really annoying. So a second time attempt on him, 2 headbutts and more than enough to take down the Primeape. Poliwrath is out now and it's taken a Mind Reader, which means that the next attack will always hit. We wake up on the second turn, and thankfully he doesn't use Dynamic Punch in this attempt. So we've got through 5 badges now without any real problems. We are sailing through this attempt. Considering we've got fighting type moves, I actually thought it'd be worth to go against Jasmine right now. So we have picked up Rock Smash as well, which is a fighting type move, not very powerful, but it gets us through those Magnemites. And when it comes to the Steelix, this is why I actually wanted Rock Smash as well, because it has the chance to decrease... we lost. It has the chance to decrease their defense, and considering Steelix has got a massive ton of defense, it was worth trying out. But I think it's going to be better and more time savvy to actually go and beat Price first. So we're going to go try the Rocket side quest, get a few more levels up, and we'll see how we do against Jasmine in a little bit. The Rockets, of course, are not going to be a problem for a Heracross. We have now taught Return on our moveset, which in a Gen 2 playthrough, if you're not using Return and you are a physical attacker, I think you really need to rethink what you're doing. Even in this later game, we've still got Fury Cutter because there are the grass types that come up. It's worth keeping for now. I don't think we'll keep it too much longer, but it's still a pretty good move, especially when you've got the same type attack bonus on it. Now we've beaten the Rocket side quest in Mahogany Town, we'll try Price, and this of course should not be a problem for us whatsoever. Return is a very powerful move, we do get a lot of critical hits as well, and even the Dugong's going to be a 2-hit. We're 7 levels above them, Piloswine is out last, and of course Return is going to be the move we go with. So at level 36 we've beaten Price, we've got 6 gym badges. We have to go back to Jasmine now, we've got a few more levels and see how we do. So we should have a better matchup against her this time. And if we can at least take out the Magnemites before they paralyze us, that would be perfect. But unfortunately, of course, this is Gen 2 and they love spamming status effects. We get paralyzed, we get confused. We have the... You know, I'm going to start calling that one the Wombo Combo. Steelix then uses Iron Tail and we counter it perfectly with Counter at the right time. I didn't do it there. And unfortunately, we do take a loss. I think an RNG is definitely going to need to play into effect a bit more. I did get up a few more levels as well because I wanted to just get past those Magnemites without taking any damage. And that led us on to Steelix. And now here's an interesting thing. You just seen there, she used a Hyper Potion. and then counter hit. That shouldn't really happen, and I'm not too sure why that does. But she used a Hyper Potion and counter hit, so if anyone's out there that knows why that happens, please let me know in the comments, because I genuinely don't know why that happened. That shouldn't actually happen, because they didn't hit us, so why should counter actually hit? But we beat Jasmine with that bit of luck, I would say, and we move on to the Rocket side quest again. We have to go into the underground and face Jubbles one more time, and he's not really too much of a problem. The Haunter is a bit of an issue because we still only have Fury Cutter as our good move to use. He does help us out a little bit by using Curse, but that means we're against the clock now. Sneasel is super weak to Bud type moves, and Magnemite, of course, we know gets taken down by Rock Smash. So even though we've got a limited move pool with not very good options until the late game, we are doing really, really well. Majority of that is really coming from the likes of Return, of course. It is our most powerful move at this stage. We have also learnt Reversal now, which is a stab fighting move. If I'm right, Reversal is kind of like the fighting type Flail. If they've damaged you like to a certain degree of your health bar, it does more damage based on that. And that's actually going to become very key and helpful later on. So it's worth keeping for a while. So, last gym leader, of course, is Claire. The second gym leader that has a little bit of a paddy because you beat her and makes you go off and get the Dragon Fang. Very annoying and time consuming, but it's part of the game, so we have to do it. Return is just decimating her Dragonairs, but the Kingdra is a bit bulkier. Return is not going to take it out in one, but it puts her into a Hyper Potion range. She's only hit 2 smoke screens now, but 2 returns is more than enough to take it out. We didn't even take a point of damage there. And this just shows how good Heracross is. Barely any losses, was pretty much one-shot in so many things, and this is why it's an absolute fan favourite of the Pokemon community. That massive attack stat, even the bug fighting type, is really, really useful. Bringing us on to Victory Road now, we have our final fight with Jubbles. And he starts off this time with Sneasel, and that brings us on to the Golbat from one return. Golbat takes a critical hit and goes down. Typhlosion is out next, and a return is just not enough to take it out, and then we get burned, which is not good. We're a physical attacker, and when you get burned, your attack is halved. We're in a really bad position here right now. We're taking a lot of damage, and Shadow Ball does take us down. If we hadn't have been burnt there, we would have had a chance to win. So let's try this again. Jubbles did give us a bit of a problem there, but we need to figure out a way past. We are level 50, one of the lower levels we've ever been to get to the Elite Four. And of course we don't want to be burnt by this Typhlosion, so you can pick up Earthquake in Victory Road. So if it's there, it's a very powerful ground type move. It's the best point of call for that Typhlosion. Once we've then taken out the Kadabra, it just leaves the Magneton, which in this generation does not have Levitate, and that means that we can take the win without losing any HP. That then brings us on to the Elite Four, and we start off with Will. So Will is a Psychic type trainer, and this is not the greatest matchup for us considering we are bug fighting, but because of our immense attack stat, Return can take out the Xatu in one hit. If we really wanted to cheese it, we could go for the Fury Cutter strats, and that might be worth doing against the likes of the Executor. We are going to use Earthquake against Jinx because that's really powerful, and Jinx does not have the greatest defenses. We are going to use Fury Cutter against Executor. It's 4 times weak to Fury Cutter, and this sets up very nicely for the Slowbro coming out last. Fury Cutter does massive damage, but still nowhere near enough to take it out in one. But we take the win without losing any HP, and we can move on to Koga, the bug type, poison type trainer. So we've got an interesting matchup here. I'm very confused why Game Freak didn't put Koga with a Heracross on his team. It actually would have made his battle a lot more interesting than it is. Like, he doesn't really need a Venomoth in my opinion. Like, you've got all these Gen 2 bug Pokemon, why has he not even got like a Ledian or a Heracross? There's 2 very good, well, Ledian's not very good, but Heracross is a fantastic Pokemon to be using. So it's quite weird why he doesn't have it. Crobat, of course, makes sense. It's very powerful flying poison. Fortress is very bulky, so Earthquake is probably our best move here, but we do get hit by Explosion, and we take a loss against Koga. That Fortress Explosion has done me in so many times on these runs so far. But we digress. We're going straight back into the fight. Return is a powerful move, so it takes out the first 2 Pokemon with no problem whatsoever. Crobat is next, and this time we get poisoned instead of being hit by Wing Attack. He goes for a full restore, and a second return does around about the same amount of damage, and then we get hit by Wing Attack. So we're not in a good position right now. We're poisoned, 34 HP. So I actually switch here to using Reversal. Because we're on very low health, Reversal does massive damage and takes out the Fortress in one. This is why we've kept Reversal until now. And even against the Muck, an Earthquake is more than enough to take it down. And we hang on with 8 HP while poisoned. So, very close against Koga. I wasn't expecting his battle to be very close. And it leads us on to Bruno, the Fighting type trainer. So there's two Elite Four members that have got types to our book. Fighting type Pokemon. Hitmontop, of course, is not really very much of a threat. Hitmonchan, if it freezes us, will be a threat, but Return can take it out in one. Hitmonlee is up next, and if we can take out the Hitmonchan, then the Hitmonlee will also go down with 1 return. It's not really a threat from the Machamp, even if it uses Cross Chop. Rock Slide definitely was more of a threat because bug types are weak to rock, and this then leaves us with Onix, and this is where it was actually a little bit of a problem. Earthquake's definitely the best move to use against it, but I forgot I had it on my moveset at that point. But we take the first time win on him, and we move on to Karen. Now Karen, considering we're a bug fighting type, we actually do have the major advantages. Both Dark type is weak to both bug and fighting, and we've got moves which cover that. The most annoying thing is her setups. So Umbreon, of course, likes to spam Sand Attack. It likes to confuse you. And that's going to make a detriment to the rest of this attempt. So Vileplume is next. We're going to go for Earthquakes. It's super effective. And what we don't want is to be paralyzed, which we do on the second Stun Spore. This is what I said about Gen 2. They love spamming status effects. We get paralyzed on that second attempt, and we've been cursed. So we're down against the wire here with 2 Pokemon left. Murkrow is very defensively weak, and it does a little bit of chip damage, but 1 return takes it down no problem. Last is Houndoom, and Earthquake is the most... Flamethrower. Yeah, bugs are weak to fire. Who forgot about that? Apparently me. So we need to make sure that we've got more than enough HP to tank a Flamethrower, and that we don't get paralyzed. Because if we get paralyzed, then this is going to become very difficult for us. So Return will do big damage on the Vileplume, and I probably should have went for Earthquake here, but we get through without taking any status effects. Brings us on to the Gengar, which we outspeed, and we've managed to get through to the Murkrow and the Houndoom. We've taken very little damage, no status effects. We need to hit first with an Earthquake, and it's a 1-hit KO. That's how you go and beat Karen with a Heracross. How are we going to beat Lance though? We don't have any type effectiveness here. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. First up, of course, he has his Gyarados. And Return is probably our best play here. It's probably not going to take it out. No, it doesn't take it out in one. And he sets up the rain. So if they're going to go for Thunder next, then we've got a bit of a problem. We don't really have an answer for the Aerodactyl. So we're going to have to go with Return. And we take massive damage. So Wing Attack is an absolute curse on a Heracross, which is 4 times weak to flying type moves. And Lance, to be fair, even though he's a dragon type trainer, all of his Pokemon are like flying, so to be fair, I would say he's more of a flying type trainer. Gyarados goes down 2 returns, and we bring out the Aerodactyl. Considering we were only 1 level away from it, I actually used my rare candies here, went up to level 59, and we also learned Mega Horn at the same breath. That means that we're now tearing through his team with Return. Outrage does decent damage, but it's not enough to take him down. That was his more powerful Dragonite. Return takes out his second Dragonite, but we do get paralyzed. So we're now on 84 HP, and if we get paralyzed here, we have lost. He's used Hyper Beam, which gives us a chance to get in that second hit, and we take the win. That's Lance beaten with a Heracross before level 60. And I was very happy with that result. What I'm even more happy with is the time that we did this in. So let's have a quick look at that while we get inducted to the Hall of Fame. So, level 59, and at 4 hours 11 minutes. Unfortunately, we didn't beat that 4-hour mark with Heracross, but of course we do have the post game to think about now. Let's see how we do against the likes of Blue and how we do against Red. Very fun run, very quick. I'm very happy with its performance up until that point. Blue has got a very varied team. We're level 66 here, and that is not enough to take out the Pidgeot. It's really annoying that Wing Attack gets a critical hit there. We're going to have to think about this. So, I do think it's more than possible at level 66. And thankfully, Pidgeot goes for Mirror Move, doing barely much damage, and that brings out the Arcanine. Earthquake is more than enough to take out the Arcanine. And that leads us on to the Alakazam. We outspeed, we can do big damage here. Mega Horn is super effective. And we are on to his Gyarados. Again, we don't have a good answer for Gyarados, so we're going to go with Return. And he sets up the Rain. Perfect, we actually don't take any damage. Executor again is 4 times weak to Bug-type moves, and Mega Horn is powerful. Such a good move to have on your roster. We've got Earthquake and Return for Rhydon. Of course, we really should have went for Earthquake in that attempt. I misclicked. And we take quite an easy win. The real threat on his team was that first Pokemon, the Pidgeot. And he gave us the best opening by using Mirror Move himself. This leads us on to Red. Now, Red is a bit of a lottery in some ways. If you've got the right moves to take out his Pokemon, you've got a good chance to win. So, the Venusaur sets up Sunny Day, always seems to do that because the next Pokemon coming up is the Charizard. If we can't take this out in one, then we've got a real problem, but we don't even outspeed it. And with a Sun Boosted Flamethrower and a critical hit, we had no chance in hell of beating him there. But I don't think we need to level up very much to do this. I went up to level 75. That should give us more than enough speed to outspeed that Charizard. And we should do a lot better damage on the Venusaur. I've added Rest to the move pool because if we take damage, I want to be able to tank something else later on and recover our health. So he goes for Wing Attack even though the sun is up. And we get through the Charizard. So we outspeed the Espeon, of course it's weak to Mega Horn. And that leaves us with 2 Pokemon, Snorlax and Blastoise. Now here I actually am going to rest, because I want my HP up. And even though Snorlax does do normal type moves and we're not super effectively weak to anything, it leaves us with a good chance. So I'm actually planning on stalling out. Well, no, you know what? Get HP low, let's Reversal. If we can outspeed this Blastoise here, we've got the win. Come on, Reversal, hit. Yes, yes, get in. 5 HP left, Reversal takes out the Blastoise, and we take the win at level 75. That's a great run. I hope you guys have enjoyed that, because playing as Heracross is so enjoyable. Let's have a look at the moveset we finished the game with. And we finished at level 75 with Return, Mega Horn, Reversal and Rest. I've never used Reversal before, so yeah, look at those stats. What time we finish on? 5 hours and 24 minutes. This was definitely a very good run. But this is the end of the run, as I've just said. So, I don't know where I'm going to place this on my tiering lists. It was a very good run. He's got a very good time. But I don't know where I can really place it on that yet. We'll have to have a look at that once these next 10 videos have completed. But for now, let's spin the wheel for the video in the next, well, in 2 days' time. And who we're going to do the next Johto run with. So let's see who comes up. First spin brings up Miltank. Could do a Whitney run here with the Miltank. That could be interesting. Let's see what comes up next. Next is Typhlosion. Fully evolved starter Pokemon, best fire type in Gen 2. And Girafarig last. You know what? No. I think it's time we do a starter Pokemon in Johto. Let's go with Typhlosion for the next run. And of course, guys, we're at the end of the video. We're doing Typhlosion next week. Smash that like and subscribe button, because it really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. You legends. And we'll see you in 2 days for the Typhlosion run. Take care.